In the world of technology, I think we can all agree that everyone appreciates a healthy bit of rivalry between tech companies. When these companies try to one-up each other by making a better product, the side that benefits the most is without a doubt us consumers. A classic example of this in the ESKATE world would be the rivalry between Tynee Mini and X-Way Wave. That's why when Tynee announced the release of their mini board's newest version, we just can't wait to get our hands on it. So without further ado, here's our review of Tynee Mini 2. Let's start with the build and specs. For the deck, Tynee Mini 2 uses genuine Canadian maple with a concave similar to the previous mini model Boosted Mini and Meepo Mini 2. From our tests, the wide concave of the board greatly helped riders get a stable and comfortable ride. The leg placement on the deck is natural and very secure. Slipping won't be an issue thanks to the wide concave. And, just like any other mini board, Tynee Mini 2's deck is stiff and does not have any flex to it. As for the electronic speed controller, the Mini 2 uses a 12S Hobbywing ESC with 4 speed modes and a smart power-on feature. For those who don't know yet, Hobbywing ESC is a gold tier when it comes to buttery smooth and precise board control. Now, let's move on to the board's power source. There are two options available for the Mini 2. The first is the Molicel 6.0 amp-hour 216 watt-hour battery with a marketed range of 14 miles or 22 kilometers. For more range, there's an option of a Molicel 10.1 amp-hour 363 watt-hour battery with a marketed range of 25 miles or 40 kilometers. We got the second version, and the range test only hit 12.4 miles or 20 kilometers with our 216-pound or 98-kilogram rider at speed mode 4. For most viewers out there weighing around 154 pounds or 70 kilograms, you can expect 22 miles or 35 kilometers of range at speed mode 4. While the Tynee Mini 2 didn't reach the marketed range in our test, it is important to note that this board uses Molicel batteries, which are considered good quality in the market. Tynee Mini 2 sells at $629 for the smaller battery version and $769 for the bigger one. This gives the Tynee Mini 2 a huge advantage over the X-Way Wave Riot, which only has a marketed range of 12.4 miles or 20 kilometers on the standard battery. Although, keep in mind that the Wave Riot's battery can be easily swapped out to keep the board nimble and sleek. Now, let's talk about motors. Tynee Mini 2 gives two options. You can either opt for the 2x550 watt hub motors or the 2x850 watt belt-driven motors, which we are using right now. We highly recommend the 2 850 watt belt-driven motor version as it gives you a more comfortable ride. These motors are paired with stock 90mm wheels with a marketed speed of 30 miles or 48 kilometers per hour. For a mini board, this is a bit overkill, but Tynee Mini 2's main selling point is its performance. And, in our test, the rider did manage to get a top speed of 28 miles or 45 kilometers per hour. Pushing it to the fullest can be a bit risky though. As for the trucks, Tynee Mini 2 keeps its proprietary reverse kingpin trucks from the previous model, which are based on the upgraded Paris V3. After seeing these trucks on 3 different models, we can safely say that these are geared towards stability, but at the same time can carve pretty well. Finally, the new board comes with a built-in brake light, and since it's in the mini board category, it does have a kicktail for more agile maneuverability. It's also nice that the Tynee Mini 2 has an IPX6 water-resistant rating, but as we all know, we shouldn't trust that too much. Now that we've covered the specs and the numbers, it's time to ride. First things first, you should notice its acceleration. For a lot of people, whenever a mini board is mentioned, speed and acceleration are rarely the biggest concern. Mini boards are, well, mini, and aren't designed to be suitable for speed runs. The deciding factor for most people is its portability and how easy it is to travel or commute with these mini boards. But Tynee decided to break this tradition and mindset with the Mini 2. The acceleration on this board is buttery smooth and intuitive thanks to the 12S Hobbywing ESC and the belt-driven system. The ridiculous marketed max speed of 30 miles or 48 kilometers per hour breaks the norm that a mini board shouldn't go fast. Testing it out went pretty well due to its power, concave maple deck, and longer wheelbase. This combination seems to handle things well at higher speeds. Tynee Mini 2 is stable at 22 miles or 35 kilometers per hour, and with a little bit of courage, you can definitely go for 28 miles or 45 kilometers per hour. The feeling is almost the same as riding a longboard, but the question is, do we really need that amount of speed and power in a mini board? Well, the speed and acceleration are highly appreciated and very welcome, since the Tynee Mini 2 is equipped with a powerful and smooth braking system. The carving experience on the Mini 2 is also decent, as it feels fun to carve but falls behind the tryst trucks of X-Way Wave, a board that's more nimble and agile. While the Mini 2 does have a kicktail, it does not live up to its full potential due to the heavy battery at the bottom part of the deck. These made the kicktail dependent on strength, but if you give it some practice, you can make it work. Another thing that the Tynee Mini 2 can work out is the ride experience on rough roads. In general, mini boards are bad for rough roads due to their stiff and short design. Fortunately, Mini 2 is a little forgiving, thanks to the belt-driven system. You'll still feel the vibrations though. So here's our verdict on this board. Tynee Mini 2 is a high-performance mini board that gives a huge amount of power and range. We are happy that Tynee updated their mini version for better performance. The price is absolutely reasonable with its killer specs and value. It is, in our opinion, the most powerful mini electric skateboard at this price point. Tynee Mini 2 also rides like a champ, breaking the record for the most stable mini board to ride at high speed. If you compare it to the Wowgo Mini 2 and X-Way Wave, Tynee Mini 2 is less nimble and carvy. It is also quite hefty and bulky due to the bigger batteries and its double enclosures. All things said, if speed and range are everything to you and you are not particularly concerned about premium polish and features like a swappable battery, then this is definitely the mini board for you. As always, if you are looking to buy a Tynee board, or actually any ESKATE, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and helps us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.